Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe if that's something that you end up liking. Who knows? It could happen. Anyway, this is my opportunity to talk books and media as it relates to science fiction, fantasy, sometimes horror. We focus on the books here, but sometimes all the news surrounds media. You never know what the news cycle brings. Got some fun ones. Got some big Lord of the Rings kind of a lawsuit, and then some Dresden Files I wanted to talk about, but let's jump right into a couple of new covers that I wanted to talk about. All right, the first one is John Palladino. We've got Buzzard's Bowl, and if you look at that, it's such a great cover. I love the cover art for his first book, Trials of Ashmount, and I believe that this is a follow-up book. The artist I double-checked is Dusan Markovic, and I hope I got that right. I hopefully got close. But anyway, love the cover. Very excited. I need to read these books already, but I love promoting, especially indies, if I can. Speaking of indie publishing, and we've got one of my favorite authors in the indie sphere, and again, I don't even need to make that qualifier. One of my favorite authors, Andrew Rowe, teaming up with Kaylee Nickel, Phantom Chamber, and we've got artist Asur Masoa. And again, apologies for any mispronunciations, but this is a series that's fallen under my radar for some reason. This is book 2 actually, so I definitely need to catch up here. Love Andrew Rowe, his Arcane Ascension series, starting with Sufficiently Advanced Magic. They're brilliant. They're Cradle. I'm a big fan of Cradle if you've watched the channel. It's along that line, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's great. Great stuff. All right, on to Dresden news. I just had a video that I ranked, tier listed all the Dresden that I've read in the main series. I have read a couple of the short stories in at least one full collection, and I have not read Briefcases. We're still working on it. I've been saving it for a rainy day, and here you're gonna hear why I'm a genius for this. You gotta temper your Dresden here. But anyway, in looking that up, I looked on Wikipedia. It pointed me to the fact that we had an update. We've got books 18 and 19, right, are kind of the next books in the series. 21 total plus an extra trilogy is the plan for the series, the Dresden Files series. Obviously, things can always change. We had Peace Talks and Battleground were all pretty much just one book. Anyway, the 18th book, first book that's next, that makes sense, is 12 months, and then after that we've got Mirror Mirror. The update on Wikipedia said, did I say that weird? Is that he would start on those after the Olympian Affair was done, which is the second book in the Cinder Spires series. Loved the first one, by the way. It's got talking cats that are hilarious. You should definitely go check that out. But I'm both looking forward to the Olympian Affair, but obviously Dresden. I'm a huge Dresden fan. If you read 18 books in a series, I think you're a fan, just by definition. But anyway, he did announce that he turned in the actual meat of the novel itself for the Olympian Affair is done. For once, I have great timing, apparently, and we just got this announcement this morning. Jim Butcher just announced that the Olympian Affair is coming out November 7th, so that's pretty exciting news. And again, for once, I'm at the top of the news game. I mean, like always. And he's already started on the first chapter or so of 12 months, and so 12 months is an interesting title. There's lots you can go off on that. Every kind of new book, obviously except for Battleground, tends to be about a year apart. It's an interesting, for me, it kind of pulls me out a little bit because you're like, it just so happens to be on the year anniversary of the last crazy stuff. I know it's not exactly that, but it's always like, about a year ago we did that. Anyway, you could be like, last month, I don't know, but I guess not everybody has just a crazy action-packed life, so there's some built into there. Anyway, also working on Warrior Born, which is a novella, so more Dresden coming on. He said in the tweet, and again, I'll post it up here, it's 16 to 18 weeks for the actual writing process, which frankly, that's pretty dang quick. You know, that's not even half a year. Half a year is 26 weeks. So that's pretty good. That's like, you know, Brandon Sanderson levels. And I know the Cinder Spires, at least the book one, is pretty large, pretty hefty. Turns out I had the book on hand, The Aeronauts Windlass. Absolutely just love this book. It's so much fun. But again, these are quite hefty. You may have already heard the Jim Butcher news. He did announce it last month, so I'm a little behind here. Didn't even realize it, but I'm really glad I did that video so I could follow up on my Dresden, see where we're at. It's almost this like, if you can just put your head in the sand and then you won't miss it as much, maybe. Anyway, I've been kind of ignoring it, but it is good to see it's getting written. And obviously with the publishing process, if it's done in 16 to 18 weeks, we're talking this might be out next year, by the end of the year. Just how it goes. It's so slow. I don't know why. That's what's great about, hey, let's run a Kickstarter, right? Brandon Sanderson showed us that could happen, and it works out well, right? I mean, why not? All right, and then in Tolkien news, Amazon and the Tolkien Estate are getting sued by an author. This is just one of the most ridiculous things, that they plagiarized him. All right, so Demetrius Polychron, and I might be mispronouncing it, he has since published, at least, The Fellowship of the King. You know, it's not a typo, I don't think, but he apparently reached out to the grandson of Tolkien. He sent him a letter. Then he actually delivered his full manuscript of his book that it just seems like is fan fiction of and derivative of Tolkien himself, of Tolkien's work. The Fellowship of the King. What's the next one? The Two Kings. And the King of the Return. I don't... Anyway, let's see where these go. Anyway, but this so it's a $250 million lawsuit trying to get some of that Rings of Power cash. He's saying they copied my story. Can you believe it? Here's the thing. The whole story where he gave his manuscript up. Now, of course, I don't even really do this kind of law, but I am a lawyer. And so, you know, take this for the entertainment value that it hopefully is. It's actually going to be really boring, though. But silence is not acceptance, first of all. So it just never is, unless there's been some kind of an agreement kind of system that's already been in place. And you better believe that the Tolkien Estate didn't have an agreement system with this knucklehead. So you can't just leave, and if you don't have a contract, right, or an NDA or something in place that says, hey, you can't talk about this, then you kind of just gave it to them. Not that they didn't just toss it, because I'll be honest, I haven't read it. Maybe it does copy. I wouldn't be proud of what happened, what Amazon did with that, frankly, or with the story, but of course, Amazon, Tolkien Estate, they've got deep pockets. Of course, they're looking for at least their settlement payday. And I'm sure the law firm has a contingency fee agreement. This person ain't paying on an hourly basis for this. They're not putting skin in the game. And this law firm feels like, hey, we're gonna get something, just some get out of here, get off my lawn cash. And everything that's been explained from what I've seen, it just sounds like there's already just admissions that this was voluntarily given. And again, silence, it's not acceptance. In order to have a contract, you gotta have offer, acceptance, and then consideration, right? I don't see even really any of those, but again, definitely, I mean, maybe the offer was there for this guy. Was there acceptance? Not likely. But anyway, maybe they'll get some payday. I'll try to follow this. We'll see if this doesn't just get blown out of the water immediately. I'm sure a quick and easy summary judgment motion will get rid of it. Maybe even a motion to dismiss. So anyway, just silliness. And again, of course, $250 million because I need the profits of that. The legal system, it's not perfect, to say the least. All right, let's get into some media news. Wanted to jump into some of that. We've got some more Game of Thrones, right? Some more prequel, actually. This is The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I absolutely love. They're the Dunk and Egg novellas. They're the first 3 have been collected into The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Apparently, Martin has a bunch more. I don't know. Does he have them written? Does he have them at least planned out? Hopefully. But apparently they're supposed to be kind of released a couple in between the main series getting published. It would be a great plan, you know, if the main series could get published. Sure. So, but I do love these. They're fun. They're way toned down, right? They're not these epic scale craziness. They're just really fun and absolutely highly recommended. And just about 100 years before Game of Thrones starts, and I think this is the perfect place to go with a prequel series, because I think it can be fun. It can be a lot of fun, and I think anyway. So it's been announced, of course. House of the Dragon did really well, so it just makes sense to do more Game of Thrones, I'm sure. All right, I wanted to talk. Akira is a classic, as you may or may not know. It's a classic anime. I need to watch it. I need to experience it, especially before Taika Waititi has his hands in it. Apparently, a live-action version of Akira. This is a classic, right, in anime. And after Taika Waititi's last little foray with Thor, Love and Thunder, there's some hesitancy around Taika Waititi, and I understand it. I didn't hate Love and Thunder as much as a lot of people. I enjoyed it. It's no Thor Ragnarok, which I submit there are a few movies that are Thor Ragnarok, and there's a reason why it's one of my favorite in the MCU. It's hard to hit that twice, right? Did Love and Thunder kind of, just drop the ball on too many things, on just kind of, just alone joking about stage 4 cancer in the way that it did, because you can joke about things. I'm not saying you can't, but just felt like, oh, this is more cringy than not. And the hammer and the axe, like, love triangle, I guess. It was a bit much. There were a couple things. The goats were a bit much after a while. They were funny the first couple times even. Anyway, lots of things fell flat in that. But again, this is Taika Waititi. I'm going to give him a pass. Everybody makes mistakes here. And again, I still enjoyed Love and Thunder. I still liked it. I thought it was fun. It was no Ragnarok, but I submit that very few movies are. And that's why, again... And so I'm going to give him a pass. I'm going to hopefully Akira is to the level that it can be. But Taika Waititi's just, he is known for the humor. So I don't know if that's what Akira is made for. And maybe he can make it funny. I don't know. But Jojo Rabbit, What We Do in the Shadows. He's been I like the TV series more than the movie. And the TV series has been directed a lot of times by Taika Waititi. So, you've got just so many things. He's got such a good film history that, you can have one that just didn't work, and it went a little too much in one direction. And I'm going to give him a pass on that. You get a couple passes for me. I think that's fair. And Taika Waititi he's been one of my favorites for so long now. Eagle versus Shark, if you've seen that. It's just, I watched that back when it was at the Sundance Movie Festival. Anyway, and it's hilarious. So anyway, I think that's fair. Let's give him a chance. Is he going to still do Star Wars? I wonder. Anyway, we'll see, I guess, after this one. All right, final bit of news. This was just, I happened to be watching Daniel Green's, and he talked about Monster again, and apparently Monster Energy. So I just thought I'd put my 2 cents and my legal opinion into this, because again, I think I know something here. But Monster Energy drinks apparently sue everybody who uses, especially video game and small video game users, but also big ones apparently. But for anyone who uses monsters anywhere in their names. And so again, my vague knowledge and my usefulness for this law in an entertaining way, hopefully, or at least for entertainment purposes, whether it worked out or not. But the issues that I see with this are that, one, they're not even, if it were someone trying to use some version of the word monster in a drink company, then you've got something, right? But just because you're a drink company that you're trying to promote to video game players, I don't think you've got anything at all, any kind of case like whatsoever in video games, right? Someone could literally call their video game Monster. It's completely different markets. Like that's one of the big things is it going to harm your own market? Could they literally be drinking Monster drinks while playing the video game named Monster? Like in what way would that harm your own company? That's at least how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what makes no sense about this. What I want to know, though, is why they're able to get away with it so much, or at least are they... I'm hoping, here's what I'm hoping, is that judges are seeing how obnoxious they're being and that they're getting groundless and frivolous kind of thrown back at them so they can have to pay attorney's fees, and that they're getting sanctioned, hopefully even more than just the attorney's fees that the other party has to pay, to just stop this nonsense, because it does sound like it's one of those like the like the author suing the Tolkien Estate and Amazon for $250 million. Like, I just want you to be nervous enough to pay me to go away. That's what I want. Is that what Monster's doing? Again, they're a big company, or that's so stupid. And you do have to, if you want to have a trademark, you have to be actively like pushing it. So that's the kind of the annoying part about trademark law, is that it can be expensive. As I understand it, I'm not a trademark attorney, but I work with people that do it or worked around them. And but I just am going, why aren't I at least hope that they're getting some sanctions, and because that's what needs to do, is they need to be hit hard enough in the wallet to go, okay, this is too far, and this is completely groundless and frivolous. So anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and what do you think about the news this week? Thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Bryce with Shelf Centered. Please like and subscribe. Again, if this is something you like, we'll see you next time. Bye.